Good morning, everyone. My name is Rafia and I'm here to present our position paper AI Governance Needs ISO like interoperability protocols, not just laws. Our main claim is simple laws alone cannot make AI governance work across borders. We need shared technical standards to go with them. Let me walk you through why. Here is the problem we start from. AI rules are splitting apart across countries. The European Union has a binding law, the EU AI Act. It sorts systems into four risk levels and requires formal checks before and after release. China takes a registration and security route. Companies must file their algorithms and pass security review for public facing systems. The United States has no single federal law. It uses sector rules and voluntary guidance, mainly the NIST AI Risk Management Framework. ASEAN offers regional principles, but these are not enforceable. So we have four regions, four very different philosophies. The strange part is that the underlying systems, the data, and the risks are often the same, only the rules differ. This creates what we call a standardization vacuum. Picture one foundation model with the same weights and the same behavior. Send it to two countries. In one, it is labeled high risk, in the other, low risk. Nothing about the model changed, only the border changed. Why does this happen? Because there is no shared technical language for describing AI risk. Without the language, every country classifies the same system in its own way. The result is compliance, uncertainty, repeated assessments, and blocked cross border deployment. And this acts like a hidden trade barrier. Large companies can absorb the cost of dealing with many rule books. Small and medium firms cannot. So, fragmentation quietly favors the big players. So, here is our position. We are not against laws. Laws are necessary. Thus, they set the thresholds. They decide what counts as acceptable AI behavior and they carry the enforcement power. But laws are not enough on their own. They cannot guarantee that thousands of different systems in different countries are all measured the same way. That gap needs a second layer. We call it a complementary technical layer. It is a shared, machine readable way to describe AI risk. In short, laws define what is acceptable and standards show how you prove it in practice. The two work together. One without the other leaves the job half done. We are not guessing that this works. We have a precedent GDPR, the European Privacy Law. GDPR succeeded worldwide, but not because of legal text alone. It succeeded because standards made it actionable. Companies used ISO 27001, a security management standard, to turn legal duties into concrete controls. They also used privacy by design, which builds privacy into systems from the start. Together, the law plus the standards turned an abstract mandate into daily practice. One honest heads up here ISO 27001 governs how an organization runs its operations. AI is harder because AI governs model outputs and those outputs are unpredictable and can change over time. So, GDPR guides us, but AI needs standards that can handle that extra uncertainty. This brings us to our proposal machine readable AI risk manifest. Think of it as a nutrition label for an AI system. It is a modular version file similar to a software bill of materials. A computer can read it, check it, and compare it automatically. It is not just a document for humans to skim. It travels with the model as a compliance credential. So, one manifest can move across borders. It can plug into MLOps pipelines, into procurement systems, and into regulatory review. As you can see on the right, it is structured data. Fields like system identity, intended use, and risk class that is tagged per jurisdiction. Build it once, reuse it everywhere. We are not asking for hundreds of fields on one day. We propose a minimum baseline of 3 dimensions, all reported in one shared vocabulary. First, fairness. Report at least one global fairness metric, name the demographic groups, state your mitigation. Second, sustainability. Report training and inference energy and disclose the hardware context because energy numbers mean nothing without it. Third, lineage. give a verifiable record of data sources, and hash the data source artifacts so they can be audited later. One important point: these three do not force every country to agree on legal thresholds. They simply let each country read its own rules through one common layer. Same data, one format, many interpretations. Now, let me address two fair objections. First objection: standards will slow down fast moving research and hurt innovation. Our reply: this assumes that having no standards keeps you nimble. It ignores the coordination cost that fragmentation already imposes at scale. Teams already redo the same work for every jurisdiction. Second objection: compliance requirements favor large established companies and hurt small firms. Our reply: uncoordinated fragmentation already costs small actors more because they must navigate many incompatible regimes. So the real question is not whether standards exist, it is how they are designed. Our answer is to make them modular, versioned, and outcome oriented. They specify what you must demonstrate and how you must build it. That is infrastructure, not gatekeeping. So, what do we recommend concretely? Three things. 1. Build open, modular, extensible protocols with low cost paths, reference implementations, and capacity building for the global south and for smaller firms. 2. Put stewardship in a multi stakeholder body such as ISO, IEC, or IEEE, releasing major versions on multi year cycles with room for local modules. 3. Treat standards as coordination infrastructure. Embed them in certification, in sandboxes, and in procurement. They complement the law. They never replace it. The goal is a shift from siloed compliance to interoperable conformance. Comply once, reuse everywhere. That is our position. AI governance needs ISO like interoperability protocols, not just laws. Thank you for listening. I am happy to take your questions.